Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, audazes. Hoje, trazendo aqui para vocês um jogo que está de graça na Epic Games, o Stanley Parable. Já me falaram muito bem desse jogo, então eu resolvi dar uma olhada nele. Vamos ver o que sai dessa gameplay aí. Ali estava dizendo que as legendas estavam em português, vamos ver só se é português de Portugal ou se é português brasileiro.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day.
Apertando o botão o dia todo, é praticamente o George Jetson.
Might have considered it soul-ending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened.
Ih, rapaz, ele não ficou sabendo que o pessoal tá de quarentena.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ok, estamos com o controle dele já. Vamos ver o que tem aqui. Quais são, o que os botões fazem? Aqui se abaixa. O A interage pelos...
handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that.
Vamos ver.
This couldn't go anywhere except
Pois é, não estou conseguindo fazer nada.
Now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one
Não
thing
consigo
he
abrir
knew
a
for
porta.
sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon,
Pois é.
very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh. Agora liberaram pra gente isso aí. Se consigo abrir essa porta. Não. Essa aqui. Não também. Não dá.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ué.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Da sala de reuniões. É, pra
Stanley
ser
went
o...
around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance
O cara
the
tá
story
narrando
in
o que a gente
any
tá
way.
fazendo exato, né? É.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ó. Ih, só desligou. Então tá bom. Achei que ia ter alguma coisa ali. Vamos ver. Sala de reunião é aonde? Nossa, que lugar grande. Tudo isso aí era funcionário, sentadinho nas suas salinhas, trabalhando. Funcionário 424. O Stanley era o 437.
Errou!
Ao Awaiting input. Ó. Esse aqui. Aí se desligou. Ó, aquele ali, a porta tá aberta do outro lado. Parece que estavam jogando paciência nele. Uma xícara caída no chão. Vamos ver. Lembrando, pessoal, que para deixar o vídeo melhor para assistir, eu vou dar uma editada nele, né?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ai, ai, ai. E aí? Será que eu confio nesse maluco ou não? Vamos na da direita. Quero ir
This
lá
was
ver.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Eu quero, na verdade, eu quero ir naquela sala que tava com que o computador tava rodando paciência. Ah, caramba. Vamos ver.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Nossa, que poético esse maluco. Imaculada, mas se é a sala dos funcionários, não tem como ser imaculada, né?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point,
Quase 11
Stanley's
horas.
obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
É, foram embora por causa do Stanley. Coitado do Stanley. O que ele fez para
Stanley
merecer as
sat around
pessoas
waiting for
embora?
more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Ai, caramba. O
At
narrador sabe
last,
até que
he
nós
had
estamos num
enough
jogo.
of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Ah, caramba. Ih, maluco. Vamos lá.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Caramba. O cara já tá ficando bravo comigo já. Aham. Não tem muita coisa por aqui. Vamos ver, isso aqui é pra ser tipo almoxarifado? Almoxarifado não, depósito. Vamos ver o que diz aqui. Penalty por jumping off the cargo lift. Caraca.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Ê, rapaz, quem é ela? Ah, agora as coisas estão ficando misteriosas.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ih, caramba. Quem será ela? Começou os mistérios do jogo. Quem será o narrador? Será que vai aparecer ele depois no final? Não dá pra interagir muito com as coisas, né, nesse jogo. No meu trabalho nós temos um tripé igual esse daqui, só não tá funcionando. Pois é. Ei,
That's
caramba.
her, Stanley.
Ai, ai,
You
ai.
need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Ah, ele disse que tem que ser eu a fazer isso para poder alcançar ela. Vamos atender então.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
E
I'm just
caramba.
pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Que?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I
Não
want you
consigo
to
me
come in
mover?
and tell me all about your
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Ele disse que, você realmente achou que você tinha uma esposa
This is
amorosa
a very
dedicada a
sad
você.
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
E agora ele falou que, isso é uma história triste sobre a morte de um homem chamado Stanley. Pois é, mas as legendas foram embora. Bom dia, funcionário 407. Aperte RB no seu dispositivo. Tá bom.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Aperte A.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Tá, já entendi. Stanley era um cara triste. Cadê a TV?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Aperte A para passar tempo com os amigos.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Tá, e eu não consigo mais sair daqui agora. Caramba, esse cara vai ficar falando.
As he wandered through this
Ih,
fantasy
rapaz, que
world,
horror.
he began to fill it with
Sujou
many
tudo
possible
aqui.
paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors
Ficou
and
tudo
mind
sujo,
controls.
rapaz.
And down
Que
another
loucura.
was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Ok.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that
Não,
it
eu acho
would
que nós vamos
never
voltar pelo
end,
começo,
that he
pelo que ele
might
tá falando.
always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tá. Caraca.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Ai, 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 vamos lá.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, Do not do it.
Tá. Bom, acho que vamos fazer o contrário do que ele tá falando, né?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can
Tá
I get
voltando
him
pra
to see
nossa
what
sala,
I
eu acho.
see? How can I make him look at himself?
Aperte X para não questionar nada.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Ih, rapaz. E agora? Acabou, será? Que hora é aqui? 11h20. Ó, acho que o tempo tá continuando da onde eu parei. Tá. Começar de novo.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No
Parece que tá
matter how hard
chovendo.
Stanley
Barulho
looked, he
esquisito.
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Não dá pra apertar. Ah, eu queria entrar nessa sala aqui, ó. Tá bom. Vamos lá, dessa vez nós vamos pra sala de reuniões.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vamos lá. Esse computador ligado e a luz vai comendo, rapaz. A energia tá cara. Aqui não tem muita opção, vamos ter que entrar na sala de reuniões.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Então tá. Tem uma coisa aqui que a gente possa mexer. Mundo gráfico. Top Secret. TPS Report. Nada de Top Secret. Ia dizer porque que um escritório tem algo Top Secret. Vamos ver aqui. Objetivos. O futuro foi ontem. Amanhã é agora. Bom. Nada demais. Nossa, esses PowerPoint não estão muito bem feitos não, hein. Tá. Vamos lá. Fechou. Creepy pra caramba.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Não tem nada mesmo. O cara tá falando a verdade. Vamos lá.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Vamos lá. Vamos até o escritório do chefe. Não dá pra entrar. Caramba, o tamanho do escritório do chefe. E bote lugar mal iluminado. Caramba. Que tá desligado aqui, mas mesmo assim é muito mal iluminado. Poucas janelas. Vamos ver o computador da secretária. Não tem nada. Vamos lá. Mas parece o escritório do Sr. Burns.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't
2845.
possibly have known this.
2845. Mas não consegui fazer nada.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Vamos lá então.
2845.
Tá, já entendi.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Que isso?
Amazing. He stepped
Olha
into the
aí,
newly
o
opened
chefe dele era o
passage.
Batman dos anos 60.
The bat pulse.
Tá bom, vamos lá. Vamos lá pro depósito, eu acho. Ei, caramba. Elevador de carga não é pra ir gente, viu, pessoas? Parece aqueles elevador de jogo de terror.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ai. Esse narrador é muito louco. Caraca, que lugar.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
E aí? Ai, sério? Aí é brabo. E agora? Escapar? Ah, caramba, vamos embora.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Sério? Então vamos voltar. Será que eu acredito nesse maluco? Será que não? Ah, não tô conseguindo voltar. Ah, deu bug, eu acho.
But of course,
Tá, vamos lá.
Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Ai. Portas fechando atrás da gente não é legal. Nunca é legal.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Matrix?
Did he have the strength to find out?
Caramba. E aí? Ah, vamos pra aqui então. Ou é Matrix ou é o cérebro do professor Xavier. Não tem nada aqui.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true
Ai.
nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on
Caramba,
screen,
cara.
and Stanley,
Que
one of them,
maluquice.
eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
É levar aquele filme Invasão de Privacidade às últimas consequências.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the
Vamos
proof.
ver o que a
The
gente
heart of
consegue
the
aqui.
operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy
Cheguei a
or
pensar que eram
sad
umas luzinhas de
or
Natal.
content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his
Ai, ai.
past
Que
began to sink in,
loucura, meu.
Stanley decided that
Tá, mas
this
daí tem um
machinery
negócio desse
would
pra cada
never
dos
again
funcionários.
exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
E vamos destruir o controle com o quê? Com essas mãos e pés que a gente nem consegue ver? Dá pra descer aqui, eu acho. Não, não faz nada. Parecia tão óbvio e no final não fazia nada. Bom, vamos lá. O que nós podemos fazer aqui? 5. Ah, então provavelmente tem que achar outros botões destes. Ah, lá atrás tem um botão desses, ó. 3. 1. 2. Cadê lá o 3? Esse lugar é escuro, é ruim de se orientar por aqui. 3. Onde é o 4 agora? Ué, cadê o botão número 4? Ah, deve ser lá em cima. Pô, nada a ver, né? 1, 2 e o 3 aqui embaixo, 4 lá em cima, 5 lá na frente. A disposição desses botões não faz muito sentido. 4. Vamos. Ah, muito escuro, cara. 4, vamos apertar o 5 e vamos ver o que acontece. Não aconteceu nada. Então tá, vamos embora. Aquele monte de botão era só pra me sacanear, né?
And when at last he found the
Brincadeira.
source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Então, vamos lá.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I
Caraca.
applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story,
Eu achei que era pra ligar a destruição. Tudo bem que tá escrito System Power, mas mesmo assim.
For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation?
Caraca.
Let's say 2 minutes.
O lugar vai explodir, é
This is
isso?
making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely
Achei
know
que era uma
where to
escada ali.
start. What's that?
Vamos ver se dá pra sair por essa porta.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Tem como correr?
Alright, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
Não,
I'll tell
tem
you
como correr.
exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell
Caramba.
it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this,
Dois.
this version of events has been
3 é lá do outro
amusing.
lado. Vamos ver se a gente
Watching you
consegue
try to
parar.
make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you. It's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what?
Caraca,
To hell with it.
que
I'm going
maluco.
to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional
4.
seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Bora, Stanley, anda. É tu e o Ethan do Resident Evil 7 que não sabem o que é correr de verdade.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Caramba. Ali tá mostrando 3. Será que eu tenho que apertar o 4 de novo? Eita, tremendo tudo, rapaz. Vamos ver. Ai, ai, ai.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
Ai, ai, ai.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
Caraca, que arreado.
Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
Tá bom, agora já era.
And
7
I will be
segundos.
laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever up.
Foi mesmo. Explodiu. Ah, que arreado esse jogo. O narrador é muito louco. Vamos voltar de novo pro começo. Então era isso, pessoal. Agradeço quem assistiu a gameplay. Acredito que esse jogo, embora interessante, seja mais legal de jogar do que de assistir, né? Porque o narrador fala muito, a gente tem que ficar prestando atenção. Mesmo assim, muito obrigado a quem acompanhou a gameplay. Se gostou, curta e compartilhe. Deixe nos comentários sua opinião e sugestão. E se ainda não é inscrito no canal, inscreva-se para acompanhar mais gameplays. Eu vou ficando por aqui. Até a próxima!
Yet there were